Hanga Pitchfest is a competition that is targeting startups where we're looking to identify the different startups that we have across Rwanda, looking at the different ideas that they're building, but also offering them a platform where they can showcase the different innovations that they're working on, offering them an opportunity to have peer mentorship and mentorship with other different organizations. And at the same time, we're also looking to provide them with training and business development services. At the highlight of this competition is also cash prizes that are targeted towards helping these businesses grow.
What excites me about Rwanda's innovation culture is that it's more engaged within young people. Young people are taking the lead and everyone is trying to innovate and people are trying to catch up, because I think COVID has taught us that we really need to be innovative. And you see most of young people are trying to, everyone has an idea, everyone has a creative and innovative idea. So that's really amazing. I think the future is going to be much brighter.
What excites me about the Rwandan innovation culture is that it's fast growing. There's a lot of challenges that needs to be addressed here in Rwanda, so which gives a lot of room for us young entrepreneurs to come up with ideas and innovations that can actually contribute to the society, but also create sustainable businesses.
So beyond identifying this talent, we're also looking to categorize them, because startups have different growth stages. You have those startups that are still at pre-seed level, you have those that are at seed level, and those that have matured enough, they already have a prototype in place, they already have put their products and services on the market. And so being able to look at the different segments of startups that they're in, and then designing support that they need to really grow to the next level.
Now that is the journey. 400 of different startups applied. 25 were selected. 5 are pitching tonight. And this is the moment. Before we welcome the team that is going to pitch, please allow me to welcome on stage the CEO of RDB, Claire Akamanzi, for her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, MC. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to recognize the Minister of ICT and Innovation, honorable ministers that are here present, the chairman of the Rwanda Development Board, and of course the judges who are going to deliver tonight what we are all waiting for. But most importantly, I want to recognize you, the young entrepreneurs that are full in this arena this afternoon. It's because of you that we are here to celebrate you. This is a very important day for us. Even though we're going to be seeing 5 winners from a pool of over 400, for us it's a way to celebrate the talent that we see in Rwanda, the talent for innovation, the talent for entrepreneurship, the talent for hard work, commitment, and perseverance, because all the 400 startups that participated in this competition showed all of that. And for us as a country looking to develop quickly and looking to driving not just prosperity, but transformation of our economy, we know very well that we cannot achieve this without you. That's why today is extremely important for us, because you are the future, and you're the ones that are going to deliver Rwanda's economic transformation and social transformation in the future. But I just wanted to say that it's not just about competition. For us at the Rwanda Development Board and the Government of Rwanda, the Ministry of ICT, for us it's building an ecosystem, a tradition, a culture of solving problems and becoming entrepreneurs. Today is just one element of that bigger strategy that we have as a country to support you to thrive every day when you go about your business. Let me just tell you a few things that we have in place to make sure that you succeed. A lot of times, you ask about access to finance. This is something that the government of Rwanda has been working very, very hard to make sure that you succeed, you get the funding that you require. Today, some of you will be winning financial prizes, but please know that there are many other instruments we have in the country. The Business Development Fund that was put in place to support startups, the Rwanda Innovation Fund that recently started, and apart from that, we've also made it easy for venture capitalists and angel investors to invest in you. We have a new investment code that gives tax incentives to investors who invest in you. That means that when they qualify, they don't pay taxes on dividends, they don't pay withholding tax, they don't pay capital gains tax, and some of them even get exemption from corporate income tax. The idea is that we reduce the tax burden for them so they can put the money in your businesses. In addition to that, we have business development services, some by government through the BDF, but there are also many private business development advisory services today. So there's support to advise you how to write a business plan, how to strengthen your businesses, how to market your products. These support services are there. Please take advantage of them. And when you create and innovate, one thing that we like to emphasize is please understand your intellectual property rights. Many times, some of you have very good ideas, but you don't register your trademarks, your patents, or your copyrights. Please visit RDB Patent Office, learn about your intellectual property rights, and make sure that nobody uses your intellectual property rights without your permission. I think that's extremely important, and we want to make sure that all of you keep that in mind as you innovate. But for today, we're here to celebrate the startups that win. Allow me to thank all the 400 that participated. You're already winners. The fact that you're the top 400 in the entire country already shows that you're a winner. Now, for those of you who are going to win the last 5 today, I want to wish all of you success. And I know that even if you're not number 1 today, in many ways you're number 1 because you're the top in the country. So enjoy this afternoon and all the best. Welcome to this event. Thank you.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Are you ready? And thank you so much, Claire, for your remarks. Are we ready? Are you ready to hear the pitches? Coming up first, we have Bag Innovation led by Yusuf Mwadi. Yusuf, you're welcome to the stage.
My name is Yusuf Mwadi, and I'm the CEO of Bag Innovation. The name of the company and the product is Bag Innovation. We're solving a problem where university students are not able to find internships that can help them apply what they're learning in school with practical work experience. So our technology helps young people to work with real companies, gain real work experience, but also feedback on their career journey. I am ready to present my idea to the judges.
Awesome. My name is Yusuf Murahoneza. I'm a Rwandan entrepreneur born and raised here, and I am the CEO of Bag Innovation. Today, I'm super excited because it's not every day that you get an audience where you have ministers, you have educators, employers, and young people in one single space. I'm going to be talking about an idea. I'm going to be talking about a solution that we've developed at Bag Innovation that is contributing to solving one of the biggest problems that the African continent is facing. And that problem is youth unemployment. When youth unemployment exists in any market, it leads to a lot of different problems for any nation. One of those problems is an increase in crimes. We've seen countries such as South Africa face a lot of problems when it comes to crimes because of youth unemployment. When youth unemployment exists in a country, it affects the country's economy because young people are not able to get jobs, so who's going to pay the taxes? So youth unemployment is a pressing issue that Africa is facing, and it needs to be solved now, not tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, when I graduated from my high school studies, I wanted to find the best university here locally where I could study that would set me up for my career. After 6 months, I failed completely. Why? When I spoke to graduates, what they said was, I've graduated, I'm still failing to get a job. Interesting enough, when I spoke to employers, they mentioned two things. They mentioned, we have the jobs, but we're failing to find the people who are employable for these jobs. Secondly, something that was very interesting was employers had a bias that if you came from a certain university, they liked you better than another university. And this is a huge problem because one could ask himself, just because you went to a good university, does that mean you are fit for the job? After analyzing all these problems, I've decided to come up with a solution. But before we get there, let me dig deep into the problem. Yes. The problem and the reality on the market right now is that students are failing to find the internships that can help them practice what they're learning with what employers are looking for. This is a major problem because employers on average can only give 40 internships per year. But what is 40 compared to the number of graduates on the market? How are these young people supposed to practice what they're learning in terms of practical experience? Universities, the traditional curriculum is not agile enough to keep up with the demands of the job market. If you are a finance student right now and you're learning finance, if you're a university student or you're learning finance right now, by the time you graduate in 5 years, if your professor hasn't been teaching you about cryptocurrency, when you graduate, your degree is gonna be obsolete and you're gonna face unemployment. Businesses, 75% of employers in Africa, of the top 50 companies, including the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, once said, we're willing to pay significantly more to find the right people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have over 20 million young people entering the job market every year for the next 2 decades in Africa. As an employer, if you hire a fresh graduate with 0 experience, it's gonna take you 6 to 8 months for them to become fully effective. In those 6 to 8 months, if you're a small business, you're incurring a cost of over $1,200 for you to train them. Our solution is BAG, a digital platform that helps students and graduates to practice what they're learning in theory in the classroom with what the employers are looking for. How do we do this? We partner with employers to understand exactly what they're looking for in a fresh graduate, and we use that data to create modules and programs that students can solve on a day-to-day basis. By using our platform, students are earning real work experience that employers are looking for. Businesses are benefiting from a low training cost when it comes to entry-level talents, and universities are achieving a high post-graduation employment rate. How does the solution work? Students sign up on our platform, they select a sector of interest that they want to work with, and by selecting this sector of interest, they're able to enroll with some of their favorite employer programs. After doing this, they can work on real tasks and real projects from the employer, receive feedback from both their employer and BAG Innovation, and they're able to gain the work experience, earn points, certification, and as well as increase their chances of being employable on the job market. This is how the platform looks like. The market opportunity is huge. The global education market in 2030 is valued at over $10 trillion. In Africa only, students and employers are spending about $4.7 billion on just earning an extra certification. We're targeting a market of over $1.2 billion just in the sub-Saharan African market. We haven't been sitting still. We have been working. We have been pushing this solution in the market. And so far, we've had over 8,000 students benefit from our solution. We've been working with over 200 businesses and partners who are universities to deploy this solution in their universities. But one thing that we're most proud of is that we're able to create jobs for over 600 young people and change their lives. Thank you. E-learning is not the most fun or sexy thing for young people to do on a day-to-day basis. Nobody wants to learn. Gamification is the future of learning. We've partnered with one of the creators of the famous game Candy Crush to develop a gamification engine that can help our platform become more fun and enjoyable for young people to use. What is our business model? Young people, students, graduates use our platform for free. Employers pay $250 to access our platform where they can post these tasks, access the data that they're receiving from this platform, but also use this as a more advanced recruitment portal. Universities are interested in having a platform that integrates directly with their curriculum so that they don't have to worry about what is happening on the job market. Digitize their career centers, but also achieve post-graduation employment. We have competitors in the space of e-learning who are trying to do something similar. However, we differentiate ourselves by having a strong focus on curriculum integration, because we believe that for every single course a university student is learning, they have to have a practical exercise that they're taking up so they can increase their chances of being relevant on the job market. Gamification, strong brand, and strong partners who can help us deploy this product in various different markets. What is our go-to-market strategy? Our go-to-market strategy is brand-led, but also at the same time partnership-led. Working with the University of Rwanda helps us access the biggest university database in the country right now. We're working with the African Union, has commended us by having the most innovative education technology in Africa, which gives us open markets to every single African country. We're working with Harambee, the Youth Employment Accelerator, doing amazing work in South Africa, here in Rwanda, trying to do the same thing. And we're trying to find out the different partners who can help us scale this technology on a day-to-day basis. I cannot do this by myself, ladies and gentlemen. We have a team of over 11 people in the office working on deploying this solution to a lot of students in the country right now. We have a lot of experience when it comes to technology development in the educational space, in career development, but also the recruitment space. So we have a good combination to understand how to develop this solution. We're pitching for $50,000, and $50,000, we've been able to achieve all this impact with just an MVP, ladies and gentlemen. With this $50,000, we're able to optimize the operations here in the country, develop the technology further, but also at the same time do a lot more marketing so every single student who's here can know about bag innovation. With this $50,000, we're gonna be able to achieve 20,000 users by next year. We're able to have one of the biggest market share of young people in the country, but also increase our revenues drastically. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why we're called BAG. It stands for Building a Generation. Our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, once said, we need to build a generation of problem solvers and critical thinkers. BAG Innovation stands for Building a Generation. I turn to you judges, and I say, we have the team, we have the traction, and we have the passion to develop this solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, BAG Innovation, for breaking the ice. So now we have started off. I would like to invite
Ron? Thank you. Thank you for that amazing presentation. I think the problem you stated was very clear, but I'm curious to dive into the employer side of it. You mentioned that they're going to be paying about $250, a few $100 a month in order to access the platform, but I'm curious how you're going to incentivize them to actually work with so many students to educate them, give them the feedback, and turn them into employable candidates, so it doesn't become a time suck for them and something that they're not going to be interested to use.
Yes, thank you very much, Ron, for the question. Yes, that is a very good question. So one of the things that, it's something that we faced in the early days because we wanted the employers to be the ones developing these programs, but also being the ones training the young people to become ready. However, we realized that we can actually take a lot of that work, but also because right now with the employers that we're currently working with is we create these programs in partnership with them, so which decreases the time for them to be able to do it. But also at the same time, we've been looking at different technologies that are emerging right now that can help us actually, by understanding one employer, we're able to replicate for a lot of different employers. Because when it comes to feedback on a specific skill or a specific task, what you realize is that in different industries, it becomes quite similar. So what we're doing is leveraging technology such as AI to be able to see what are the patterns for one employer and what is the feedback that they're providing, which is the training, and how can we replicate it for other different employers and just make very small tweaks to make it more relevant for and more adapted to the specific person who's using the platform.
Thank you.
Well done, Yusuf. That was excellent. Quick question for you. You showed us multiple competitors who are already in this space and working. So why should we invest in you? And what makes your company uniquely suited to solve Rwanda's problems and by extension Africa's?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. So most of the competitors that I mentioned there, all of them are based outside of Africa. So that is number one. So they haven't really looked at the African market. And as I mentioned, in our competitive advantage is that we have a strong focus with the curriculum integration. Because if you look at the problems that the African continent is facing, they're quite different from the US and other different markets, right? So in the US, you would have a problem where employers are just looking for the solution and they want to pay for it quickly. But when we try to do it here in Africa, we realize that businesses are also struggling, and sometimes they might not have a lot of money for them to be able to spend on this. But the universities is where the impact is actually really big, because the career development for universities, for the average university in Africa, is dysfunctional. They don't have the information about what employers are looking for, but then you keep seeing a lot of people just go to universities, but then there's nothing that happens after that. When you graduate and get your paper, that's it. The university doesn't really support you to land your first job. So our solution is really targeting that problem. So specifically right now we're kind of in talks with the University of Rwanda to see how we can directly integrate by learning what exactly the students are learning in class, and how can we really link the different modules that we're providing to the specific modules that they're learning in class, so we can be able to guarantee a much more high graduation after school. And we have seen that is actually a model that is working really well, and universities are willing to pay for it, and we have a lot of partners who are really willing to jump on this.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. To close this speech,
yes.
Can you give us a sense of, in terms of sustainability, how you see it long-term, financial sustainability of your solution? Thank you.
Yes.
In a very few words.
Thank you very much. So the sustainability, what we validated in terms of revenue model so far is that employers are willing to pay for having the right talent, and we've been able to basically charge companies for that kind of service. And that has been a very sustainable model because it has been sustaining our company for the last 4 years. However, what we're looking into, the products that we're developing right now, are the yearly subscription for universities, but as well as a very small fee for graduates and students who are willing to pay for this.
Thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. Thank you for being the icebreaker of today. Such an amazing solution. As we said, brilliant ideas are going to be pitched. The judges are deciding. But you are also learning. Up next is a free farmers market. Yes. Before you start pitching, allow the video to play to give you the introduction, and then you can go. Let me have the team please play the video of Afri Farmers Market.
My name is Norman Mugisha, and I'm the CEO and founder of Afri Farmers Market. At Afri Farmers Market, we use technology to help farmers access stable market for their produce, and also help them using technology to practice sustainable agriculture. What we hope to change and achieve is to help digitize farmers, help them access stable market and increase their household income, and also transforming agriculture in Rwanda so that we can ensure food security and poverty alleviation. I'm ready to present my idea in front of the judges, and I'm super excited about it. My name is Norman Mugisha. I'm the founder and CEO of Afri Farmers Market. At Afri Farmers Market, we're leveraging technology to empower rural farmers on how they can access market easily for their produce and also produce food that is market-oriented. You might maybe wonder why we are into agriculture. If you look at the population here in Rwanda, 70% of the population here in Rwanda depend on agriculture. It's the backbone of our economy. Unfortunately, farmers haven't benefited a lot. And if you can see, like, if you find like people who are mostly poor are those rural farmers, yet the majority depend on agriculture. So and I want to take you through a journey of one of our farmers. And so you are going to see one of our farmers, Jackie. She's having a small farm. She's producing fruits and vegetables because that's her main source of income. And after harvesting, she needs to sell the produce. Unfortunately, in her community, in Rural Deep, in the eastern province, there is no one to buy her produce. So what is she going to do? To harvest, wait for the market that happens once in her community, once in a week or twice in a week, then take her produce to the market. How is she going to take the produce? Carrying it on the head. Sometimes there are thousands of like her who are having, actually, when you move up country, you find they're having the produce on the head and they're having their kids at the back. And you can imagine the future of the kid at the back. Should remain like that? Something needs to be done. Now successfully she reaches on the market. When she reaches on the market, there are others also who have come, who have waited for that market to come once in a week. They're also there. They're waiting for the middlemen to come and buy their produce. If the middlemen, because they want to leverage and get more profits, they're going to give them unfair price. So what are they going to do? Are they going to carry the produce back home with it, which is fresh produce, which are very perishable? Or they're going to be forced to sell it at any price? Do you think can they overcome poverty through that process? That is their source of income, really helping them to develop. And not only that, because of lack of market, 40% of the produce is lost during post-harvest. And this has caused continued cycles of poverty among the rural farmers. And it has demotivated young youth who are here, they can verify that they have motivated them to join the field. So Afri Farmers shows up. And this is our product, where how now you and me who are in Kigali or in any place or at your home, you can access this fresh produce directly from the farm. How does it work? You're just at home, you press the order. So we start with the farmer. The farmer will keep. After harvesting, we bring it here in Kigali where we have our storage facilities. Then you order through our platform, we can bring it at home. You not moving any distance, reaches it, which is much more affordable, and the farmer remains at the farm and gets more income and gets more and grows and it also impact our society. So after buying, you pay us. 15% remains with Afri Farmers Market, and 80% goes back to the farmers. In comparison, which is different from other cases, where farmers actually get 30%. Imagine that unfairness. So after solving that one, we were like, oh, wow, the farmers have the market. Everything is fine. But we realized that actually the food they produce is not market-oriented. So how are we going to satisfy the needs of clients when the food produced is not market-oriented, is not of good quality? Then we initiated our capacity building program. How can they get skills and knowledge on how to produce food that is market-oriented, that can compete on the market, not only here in Rwanda, but across the continent? Then we also realized they lack access to inputs. Then we started how we can provide them inputs in partnership with different input suppliers so they can get affordable inputs to boost their production. And with that, being able to 50% increase in the farm production. So if you increase the production, they increase the income. And also increase their household income. And also using different technologies. We're also forming communities of practices where these farmers can meet on the platform and share ideas and experience. So you might ask, why now? Why Afri Farmers at this moment? Why did we start? I do believe that technology will be powering forth industrial revolution for agriculture. We need smart agriculture that can respond to climate change. And also, we need food. We need to produce food that is more affordable and accessible for billions of people living around the world. And why not? Why can't we put agriculture, Rwandan agriculture on the global stage? Part of our market is, if we look at the farmers we are working with, actually only here in Rwanda, they produce 75% of the food we consume. In East Africa, 75% of the population depend on agriculture. So you can see we have enough supply. If we work with these farmers, we have enough supply. And in East Africa, like people who are living in urban, 20% of people are living in urban and pre-urban areas who are willing to buy this produce without moving any step from their farms, from their houses. And that is around 91 billion market size that we are entering in. So what's our growth and product milestone? We want to increase the number of customers to 50,000 in the next 2 years, specifically here in Rwanda, also including East Africa. Expand our delivery system so that we can deliver on time. Increase the number of farmers, 200,000, and also build a platform. We are now already organizing a platform that if this farmer who doesn't have access to a smartphone, how can they get information? How can you just be at farm, so at your home, and you manage your farm, and you get information around, the opportunities around in agriculture, so that they can develop. So our business model is from farm to fork, and the way our customers are segmented into two, there's business to business, there's like hotels, restaurants, schools, and also B2C, which is our customers directly to homes. And how do we make money? If you purchase from our platform, you buy directly from, then we get a 15% profit margin. So you can see from the farm after harvesting comes the storage, we pack it, then we can deliver it on your time. And you can see some of our great partners like Jasiri, which we are really grateful of, Dove, and other different. So what is our competitive advantage? Afri farmers, we have found that we have high quality produce because we have a competitive advantage working directly with the farmers and low price compared. Actually, if we compare with our competitors, we have 20% less compared to our competitors. Our go-to-market strategy, we are looking at how we can use different social media networks to reach out different new customers. Recently, we launched a partnership with Ihuzo under ICT Chamber, sponsored by MasterCard Foundation, on how we can digitize farmers, how we can help farmers access stable market. Then some of the key success stories that we really are grateful with the team, that for the past 1.5 years that we've been working, we've been able to provide market for 5,000 farmers with capacity building to improve their production, and 27% of them actually are the first-time farmers, where they're young people. You can see the age from 18 to 27. Imagine the employment opportunities that are being generated in those communities. And also 70% of them are women. And our finances, we had like a projection for the first half a year we started, and this year, and also for the next. But our projection shows that the main now source of income revenue comes from market vendors, homes, restaurants, and hotels, and also schools. Sorry. So our investment, we need 150,000 in funding to expand our production. But if we win 50,000 USD that today we're competing for, we'll be able to invest it in appropriate technology for the farmers and for us to improve our product, to expand our activities, capacity building for the farmers, logistics and staff, and also marketing. We have a strong team, great advisors that have experience in this area, and also a team that works every day, have diverse experience in agriculture, IT, and business management to ensure that we achieve this dream. So me personally, being raised and born in similar conditions so that the farmers were supporting where they are, and I got an opportunity to go to study agriculture in the US and also go back to China. I realized that there was an obligation for me to come back and support the rural farmers and transform my community. So today I call you to join us so that we can help farmers access stable market, overcome poverty, and make our communities prosperous. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Norman. for playing this key role of adding value to our farmers and by making the products available to all of us.
Thank you so much.
I would like to hand over to Eric.
Hi, Mugisha. Thank you so much for an amazing presentation. I think your solution is relevant for Rwanda, but beyond to the whole of Africa.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, in listening to you, I got excited because you seem like you have many businesses in your business. You have a logistics business, you have a training business, you have an input business, you have a technology business. Which one of those businesses do you like the most, and where would you like to focus?
Yeah, thank you so much for the great question. Yeah, there are many ideas all together, but all that is the package that is helping us to stand out different from other competitors and ensure we achieve our dream. So first of all, like I said, when we started with providing market, we were like, farmers can't keep walking this and losing their produce. You know, like, let's provide a platform that can help them. Then we realized that putting a platform won't solve. So most of them, they don't even have smartphones. They don't have even the small phones. They don't have where to charge them. Imagine you are here in Kigali and you want some watermelon to be harvested, maybe to be delivered from the eastern province, and you just need to call a farmer to come to you. It's really, really challenging. And that's why I say, okay, let's do part of also include the part of logistics. How can it come? And that's why we put our facility for collection so that we can pack it easily. Because also for our clients, we work with hotels and restaurants. Most of them actually work, some of my teams here, we start even working at 4:30 or in most cases so that we can deliver that fresh produce because they need it early in the morning. So when we're doing a market study, also a survey asking the clients how would they want it. They would really want it on their doorsteps. Unfortunately, maybe in the near future, we're looking at how we can pattern. Like right now, we are partnering with even different, like in the Rwanda district, there is one group, a cooperative that we started with. Now they're giving them irrigation system and different ways of partnering with others, so they're part of input and everything. But right now, as we are starting, we are tackling, and so that when we are bringing a partner, we understand how he or she could cooperate with us.
So what I'm hearing is that you want to use partners to build an ecosystem and you don't want to do everything yourself.
No, for us, we'll continue with the e-commerce platform for the yes. But if we get other partners to support us, like in inputs and everything, yeah, that would be great.
Well done. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Larissa?
Thank you very much, Mugisha. Very critical problem that you're solving. And just to piggyback on the question that he just asked, could you please elaborate on your revenue model for all these different segments of the business? I know you mentioned the 15% commission on the sales, but you seem to have other businesses around what you're doing. And I just want to know if there's any other revenue model that you have around that. And also share a little bit more on your scaling strategy. How do you plan to go beyond Rwanda?
Okay, thank you so much. For the main part of the revenue comes from mainly, which our source of revenue, the income that comes, is the 15% we charge on each commission. They say you buy the 1 kilogram of Irish potatoes, maybe 300 Rwandan francs, then we take 15%. So other businesses like others, we're doing as like a service. For the farmers, for logistics, we don't charge we don't charge farmers. And also for the, maybe part of the farm inputs, but there are not many, maybe for the young people. But when we give inputs, we don't also charge them. Like we give them, but we sign a contract with them that after you harvest, it has to buy the input. Then they can pay back the input we gave them on credit in the harvest, not in cash. So at the moment, we don't have any, apart from the, for the sales, we don't have any other, maybe the near future you can think about it, but right now, it's specifically from the commission we charge on the sales. For the part of scaling, that's a great question, thank you so much. First of all, in the next year, we want first in Rwanda, operate in like other secondary cities, like Musanze, Huye, and other cities. Then we have already, actually right now we have they completed recently. We had a group of 6 students from China, Tsinghua University, where I was my former school, my former university. They've been helping us designing a model. How can we replicate this in different countries? And right now we have Tanzania, we have Uganda, those are and Burundi. Those so far they gave us how if we want to go next. So we are going to use the same approach, but regardless of also respecting other different norms, looking at the people we can partner with in that country, looking at the approach you can use, but the same vision of helping farmers overcome poverty.
Thank you very much, Mugisha, for your appealing pitch. Now you can relax and enjoy other pitches.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, we have Afriduino. Please go on stage and let's see the video presenting your company.
I'm Chuzo Diana. I'm the CEO of Afriduino Limited. By now we have 2 products, a cable, it's an MP3 player, and Ikombe, it's a smart light bulb. We are trying to solve the problem of people living in rural areas who don't have access to smart home devices by providing them smart home devices shaped in our Rwandan cultural tools. I'm super excited to present my idea in front of judges. Amazina yanjye nitwa Cyuzuzo Diane, ndi umuyobozi nkaba ari nanjye washinze Afriduino Limited. Nishimiye kubana namwe hano. Imyaka ishize njye n'abavandimwe banje 4 twagiye gusura nyogokuru na muzehe, Imana ibahiruko ridashira. Twasanze bakoresha ibikoresho ndangamateka by'umuco w'Abanyarwanda mu buzima bwabo bwa buri munsi. Umuto muri twebwe yagumaga zambaza nk'imfura, kiriya ni igiki, bagikoresha iki, gikora gite. Ntangira kwibaza, ese iki kibazo cyaba ari we wenyine ugifite cyangwa hari n'abandi bangana bafite icyo kibazo. Nakoze ubushakashatsi nsanga abana bakiri batoya, urubyiruko, ntibazi ibikoresho byakoze bikoreshwa n'abo dukomokaho. Sanga uyu munsi biyumva mu iterambere kurenza uko biyumva mu bikoresho cyangwa mu mateka yashize. Ni muri urwo rwego nakoze ubundi bushakashatsi nsanga ibikoresho ndangamateka by'umuco wacu birimo birakoreshwa mu bundi buryo bw'imitako izihenze, butyo Rwanda nyamwinshi nibabyisangemo. Ibikoresho byacu byasimbuwe n'ibituruka mu mahanga biza ku bwinshi kandi bikaza bigura makeya, bityo abantu bakabyitabira ku rwego runini. Ni muri urwo rwego natekereje, ese ni gute twabungabunga ibikoresho ndangamateka by'umuco wacu nk'uko dukorerwa izi za Made in Rwanda, bityo twifashishije ikoranabuhanga tukaba twakora smart home devices, bityo ukiguze akajyana igikoresho cy'ikoranabuhanga kandi agatwara n'igikoresho ndangamateka cy'umuco wacu. Ni muri urwo rwego nifashishije ama 3D printers umumaro mushya ibikoresho ndangamateka by'umuco w'Abanyarwanda, kugira ngo nibura n'imyaka izagenda iza ntibizacike, ahubwo bizakomeze bikoreshwa ariko noneho bijyana n'igihe tuzaba turimo. Uburyo rero nkora ibyo bikoresho, ndadesigninga nkana producinga cases nifashishije shapes y'ibikoresho bya gakondo, nk'assemblinga MP3 motherboards na smart light bulbs. Natangiranye 4 prototypes zari akebo kari muri ino shape, nangirana agacuma, nangirana igitekerezo cy'ingoma nakoramo MP3 player, nangirana n'igitekerezo cyo gukora agaseke muri smart light bulb. Kubw'ubushobozi kugeza ubu ngubu nakoze akebo MP3 player, nkora na smart light bulbs yitwa Ikombe. Ikombe rero iri tara rifite amakaraseti atandukanye agera kuri miliyoni 16, icyatsi, ubururu, andi mabara atandukanye. Ishobora gukora offline ukoresheje e-link na application. Ishobora no gukora online ukoresheje Google Assistant na Alexa. Ikindi kandi iri automated, ushobora kuryatsa ukarizimya ubaye uhari cyangwa udahari. Ushobora guhindura ibara, ushobora kongera urumuri, ushobora kurugabanya. Ushobora kuvuga ati saa 12 muze kwaka aya mabara, saa 9 mwakaya, mu gitondo muze kuzima iki gihe, ubaye uhari cyangwa udahari. Akebo, murakoze. Akebo ni MP3 player, turi urubyiruko dukunda imiziki, ariko ntibivuze ngo twibagirwe bya bikoresho byacu. Ni muri urwo rwego nakoresheje shape y'akebo, nkora radio ikoresha Bluetooth version 4.2, ni version nziza, ikoresha FM, ushobora kumvaho radio ikoresha na Bluetooth. Murakoze. Ibi bikoresho byanjye rero kugeza uno munsi mbigurisha. Akebo iyi no radio nyigurisha $15. Iri tara mureba ndigurisha $50. Naje kubona ko young generation batari kugira knowledge ku bikoresho ndangamateka by'umuco w'Abanyarwanda, bityo nsanga benshi baba mu miji, muri diaspora. Ni muri urwo rwego nazanye iki gisubizo, ariko nibikuraho ko nabo mu cyaro hari abadafiteho ubumenyi kujyanye n'ibyo. Kugeza ubu ngubu abakiriya benshi mfite ni aba diaspora, ni abaturiste, ni ingo zikize ndetse n'amahoteli n'utubari. Ariko mu mwaka utaha ndifuza nanone gufokasinga kuri low income households, abatuye mu cyaro n'abatifashije, nabo bakabasha kugura ibikoresho byanjye. Kugeza ubu ngubu aba competitor duhanganye ku isoko harimo Philips na Refix. Bakora ibikoresho akenshi usanga bisabira wifi kugira ngo bikore, bityo ugasanga ingo nyinshi zo mu Rwanda dufite ntibayikoresha, bityo ntibabashe kugira access kuri ibi bikoresho, ntibaratangira gucuruza mu Rwanda. Ikindi kandi ibikoresho byabo biza bihenze cyane, bityo nifashishije ibi bijya kugura make cyane kuyimitako, bityo ukajyana 2-in-1 aho kugira ngo ugure umutako uzareba nta kandi gaciro ugufitiye. Kugeza ubu ngubu ncuruzira ibikoresho byanjye kuri Singasinga, ni website yacu, mu Gakenke kuri office yacu, ndi gukorera mu ntara y'Amajyaruguru, no kuri Culture Center ebyiri, imwe iri i Kigali indi iri Rulindo. Ariko guhera mu ntangiriro z'umwaka utaha ndetse n'ahazaza ndifuza kujoininga amasoko mpuzamahanga ndetse n'ayo mu Rwanda, online markets, ngatangira gukorana na culture centers zitandukanye. Nzaba nkikoresha iyo website. Ikindi kandi ndifuza gufungura amashops ahantu hatandukanye mu gihugu, kugira ngo abakiriya banjye babashe kubona ibikoresho byanjye mu buryo bworoshye. Kugira ngo mbashe gukora ibyo byose nongera umusaruro, ndifuza kugura industrial 3D printers izamfasha mu kongera umusaruro w'ibikoresho nkoresha, kandi ngatangira no gukora izindi produit nshya. Kugeza ubu ngubu isoko ryanjye riraruta cyane ubushobozi mfite, kuko mu kwezi ari jye mbona abakiriya benshi cyane, bigahura nuko ntafite ubwo bushobozi bwo kubahaza. Ndifuza gutangira kwikorera MP3 motherboards zijyanye n'igihe, kuko bizangabanyiriza ibi expense nataga ku byo naguraga hanze. Ikindi cya gatatu, ndifuza gutangira gukora cheaper light smart light bulbs, ku buryo nabo mu cyaro aribyo byasoko mfite ahanini ntari guhaza, nibura nabo batangire babigure, kuko nabonye ko akenshi babishaka. Ndifuza kandi gukora agaseke, ni smart light bulbs nshya izaba ije ku isoko. Ndifuza kandi gukora connected MP3 players zizakoresha Google Assistant na Alexa. Kugeza ubu ngubu ntabwo ibi byose nabikora njyenyine, ni CEO, mfite chief technical officer, aba engineers 4 na accountant, nkagira n'abanyakabyizi 10 kuri 20 ba buri munsi bitewe n'akazi mba mfite. Kugeza muri uno mwaka, kugeza muri uku kwezi turimo, nabucuruje amaradiyo akebo 385, ngurisha na smart light bulbs zigera kuri 240. Mu mwaka utaha ndifuza nibura kuzaba ngurisha smart light bulbs 1000, nkanifuza gukora radio smart connected MP3 players zizaba nibura 400 mu mwaka. Bizaba ari ikintu cyiza. Kugira ngo mbigereho, nifuza kugura industrial 3D printers zizantwara amadolari 20,000, nkanifuza kugura ibikoresho bizakenera 15,000 by'amadolari bizamfasha gukora motherboard. Expenses zindi zizantwara 7,000, no kugura amafilaments bizantwara 8,000. Ku mukobwa ntabwo byari byoroshye mu ikoranabuhanga, nahuye na byinshi binci intege, ariko ibitarashobokaga ubu birimo birashoboka. Murakoze cyane.
Diane, murakoze cyane. Murakoze cyane. Passion ukora ni ibyo ukora, n'ingufu ubishyiramo biragaragara. Ukaba waragize icyo gitekerezo cyo guhuza umuco wacu, kuwuhuza n'ibintu bijyanye n'iterambere, akaba ari igitekerezo cyiza cyane. Ukaba wanahisemo kubivuga mu Kinyarwanda kugira ngo bihure n'ibyo ukora. Twongere tuguhe amashyi. Dear judges, Diane can also answer in English, so feel free to address your questions.
So, Diane, congratulations.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, in Sinzi Kumfunga Kinyarwanda, so I will ask in English.
Yeah, it's okay.
Can we order your products for corporate gifts?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
That was my question.
Akazi Keza.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well done. This is absolutely, you've clearly articulated the problem and a solution. My question to you is, you've told us you want to reach poor households in rural areas. What are your barriers to drive costs down?
Nowadays, I'm buying products from abroad, and I have simple 3D printers machines. It requires like too much money for me to manufacture at least one smart light bulb. That's why I'm selling them at higher prices. But if I inquire industrial 3D printers, I will be able to manufacture too many, and it will not take me much money to manufacture one, so that everyone will be able to afford my products.
Thank you. Great job, Diane.
Thank you.
Really inspired by what you're doing. I would like for you to elaborate on who your customers are, and also please enlighten us on your innovation process. How do you come up with such brilliant products?
First of all, I love our culture. I'm a Rwandan. I've been raised in a family who respected and loved our culture. So by now, my products, I have a limited option because of money, but if I may be sponsored, I may be able to manufacture many products. This one is a light bulb. It's not yet finished, but I've been inspired by Akabindi. You know Akabindi? It's a smart light bulb. The only thing it will take you to use it is just touch it to switch it on and off. It can work online and offline. I'm just mixing technology and the shapes of our Rwandan cultural tools so that they can't be extinct. I've seen that in very few years to come, our cultural tools will be extinct. That will be too shameful. We are Rwandans. Yes, we don't have to be called Rwandans because we are Rwandans. We have things which present us as Rwandans, like this, made in Rwanda. Thank you.
Yes. Clarice, are your questions answered?
Nashaka kumenya abakiriya bawe.
Oh, sorry for that. Abakiriya banje by now, diaspora, tourist, amahoteli n'utubari n'ingo zifashije bitewe n'uko ibiciro bigihanitse. Nimbasha gutangira gukora ku bwinshi, abakiriya banje ndimo ndafokasinga ku ngo zitifashije cyane kugira ngo nabo ntibazacikanwe n'iterambere. Niyo mpamvu ndi gukorera no mu ntara. Ntabwo dushaka ko iterambere riza i Kigali, nirijye no mu ntara. Twese nitwirundi Kigali, igihugu zizadushyiraho. Amen. Murakoze.
Diane, iminota yacu ni mikeya, ndifuza kugushimira cyane.
Murakoze cyane.
Ni na byiza ko wazanye ibyo bikorwa byawe tugashobora kubirebesha ijisho tukakubyumva neza. Komereza aho ngaho.
Ni ishema. Murakoze.
Thank you very much. Amashyi menshi cyane kuri Diane. Up next, second life storage.
My name is Leandre Bergo, and my company's name is Second Life Storage. We are building battery storage systems for our telecom towers. We are hoping to solve the battery waste problem and to provide better backup solutions to our electricity users. I'm very ready to present my idea in front of the judges.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leandre, and I'm co-founder at Second Life Storage. The whole world is turning to renewable energy and electric mobility as part of essential solutions to climate change, Africa and Rwanda included. And these technologies have something in common. They rely on batteries. That's amazing, but there's one problem. Batteries have a very limited lifetime. They can last for 5 to 10 years, depending on usage and application. So now the problem is, what shall we do with all these batteries at retirement? Shall we dump them in landfills, making them hazardous to people, into the planet we are trying to save in the first place? Or can we actually make something useful out of them, especially that they retain about 70% of the initial storage capacity at retirement? We have 100 tons of them already retired in Rwanda alone. And for context, if we repurpose all this battery waste, they can power about 100 health centers for a week on a single charge. On the consumer electricity side, we've seen a substantial improvement on the national grid, but we still also observe outages. This leaves industrial and commercial consumers resorting to diesel generators for power backup. These generators are expensive to run, and they're expensive to acquire as well, and they are polluting. For instance, we've observed 170 hours of outages in Kigali alone, and it's so much worse in some other parts of the country and of the region. And this is where SLS comes in. We provide energy storage as a service using repurposed battery cells. We are leveraging the remaining value of batteries at retirement, and we are building a real-time and remote monitoring system for visibility and control. We are innovating on an advanced battery management system for safety and optimal usage. This is how it works. We get battery cell from the waste supplier. at a base fee of $50 per kilowatt hour, and we provide them as a service to telecom towers on a base fee of $20 per kilowatt per month. This means that you're not selling the battery packs, but rather charging for power availability on the sites. You can think of it as leasing. Again, for context, for a typical telecom tower, like the ones used by MTN or Airtel, it costs us about $250 to build the battery pack, and we charge them $300 per month. It will take us about 9 months for paying back the cost of building a battery, and we expect a lifetime of 3 to 5 years. There are many market segments that are fit for our solution, including telecom towers, commercial buildings, and industries. We can also provide them to residences and mini-grids through partners. However, the telecom market is a perfect segment for our solution because they rely heavily on uninterrupted power supply. They get penalties for any network outages, and also they show substantial growth that's very important for us to tap into. Our budget market, which is the Rwandan market, counts more than 1,000 towers, and we expect a 30% market share in 5 years. The electricity power backup component in this market is valued at $13 million USD. The East African market is valued at close to 300 million USD, and the African market is valued at 3.8 billion USD. Everyone in our supply chain benefits from our solution. For the US supplier, we provide them a new revenue stream by avoiding them to pay to send out the battery waste for recycling for raw materials, and we provide them a new revenue instead. And for the telecom tower operators, which are currently paying more than 6,000 USD for buying and operating a diesel generator every year, they'll be paying less than 4,000 USD with our batteries. That's a 43% cost saving every year. In addition, our batteries are more reliable. They are seamless to kick in. They can take on as soon as there's power outage, and they are emission-free. The real-time and remote monitoring system we are building with it gives visibility and control to telecom tower operators of what's happening on the site. They are modular, and you can tailor them to any customer needs depending on their demand, and you can expand it as their demand changes, grows, or reduces. We are competing with diesel generators and other battery types, but our advantage over them is our service model, which helps the customers to avoid upfront cost of acquiring power backup solutions for their sites and reduces their operating cost as well. And our embedded real-time monitoring system, again, gives visibility and control. And comparing to other types of batteries, our lithium-ion batteries have more cycle life, they have faster charging times, they are more efficient, and they are maintenance-free. We are piloting our first product in the first quarter of next year, and we are launching in the third quarter of next year. We expect to be servicing 10 towers by the end of next year as well. We reduce 65% of direct CO2 emission on every telecom tower we service. And for context, after 5 years, we'll be able to save CO2 emission equivalent to more than 100,000 trees planted every single year. We are dreaming to become the ultimate energy solution in the region and beyond, and to be the missing link for the sustainable adoption of renewable energy and electric mobility. Here's the team driving this dream. We share a passion for clean energy, and they have a collective of more than 7 years of experience in the energy field, working on battery research, battery testing, and data science in the energy field. We also have master's degrees in electrical and computer engineering from Carnegie Mellon University. We have a stellar team of advisors working with us on power systems, networks, enterprise building, marketing and branding, and business and development and strategy. We expect a profit of more than 1 million USD in year 5, and our key drivers for this profit are net yearly prices, battery purchasing costs, and the market share. We are looking for a 12-month funding for reaching product maturity and scaling our production. We'll be spending this on equipment, team expansion, and operation. And for 53,000 we are getting today, we spend it on basic equipment and operations of our product. I'm not a magician, but I would like to give you a trip in the future. A future where everyone has clean, reliable, and affordable access to electricity. And a future where no asset goes to waste prematurely. And if I could ask you, what do you think is standing between us and that future? It is the cost of building everything we need to build, and it's also the decision we are making right now on how we approach getting to that future. Are we really planning on importing everything and throwing them away after only using a portion of their capacity? Or can we actually make everything here and be innovative on how we think of ownership and service models to enable circularity and efficient waste management? At Second Life Storage, we believe in this future, this second option. We are building the technology and the enterprise to enable it. And we're inviting you all to join us in making it a reality. Thank you very much, and be sure to be in touch if you have any questions and interest in our products.
Thank you very much, Leandre. It is always a pleasure to see young people tackling these big global problems, including environment and providing renewable energy and so on. So well done.
It's our pleasure as well. Thank you.
Ron, please.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you for that amazing, compelling presentation. It's very clear what this could do for the country and for the continent and maybe even the world. What I'd be really interested in knowing is, considering the fact that the product is not yet in market, I'd love to know, what is already validated on your end, and what do you have left to validate in terms of actually creating the solution? And also, what do you foresee is the biggest challenge you're going to have in terms of getting into the market?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. My team and I have spent more than 2 years now in research working on this product. I've interned with one of the biggest tech companies in Japan, working on understanding battery degradation models, understanding battery operations and battery aging patterns. And I could realize that by really having a deep understanding in this, you can safely and optimally leverage the remaining capacity of the batteries. And my team member also done research on battery testing, understanding what's really the remaining capacity of the battery. What's the challenges, what's the technical challenges in having them work together, especially that you're getting battery waste from different applications, one coming from a laptop, another coming from an electric motorcycle or a solar power. What should you be looking out to make sure these batteries can actually safely and optimally work together? So we spent time in research in school and also internship projects, and my team member also spent that battery testing part in industry with any waste collecting partner. And we really understand what's the technical challenge ahead of us, and we are innovating on the battery management system, as I said, that makes sure every battery cell can be staying in optimal operating conditions without damage to the battery itself or to the site. And what to expect to be a challenge, as I said, the technical challenge was the biggest challenge doing this, and we think we have a stub on it already, which we'll be validating with our first pilot next year. And the second thing will be having people actually have confidence in the solution. That's why you're starting with piloting before selling the first product. And we're expecting to pilot for 1 quarter, 3 months. We'll be releasing case study, results on what went with the pilot, validating the cost reduction we're promising to our customers. And we'll be having webinars or public events to actually give people confidence in what we are doing. These are success story testimonials from our piloting partners, and we hope this could also give confidence that this is actually something that works and they can actually take on and benefit from the cost reduction you're promising. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Landry. I really enjoyed your presentation. You made physics a lot more exciting than I remember. My question is, before you launch your product, have you created any IP? And to Claire's previous remarks, what have you done to protect it, if any?
Oh yeah, so we have a prototype now. The prototype is a single module of the visual, like the battery pack I showed in the slide, which is like made by, when you think of batteries, they're made of modules, like one operating unit of a battery. And for a telecom tower, you need 8 of those modules, a typical telecom tower operator. So we've built one of those modules, and we equipped it with a battery management system, as we said. And that's been our progress on actually doing something physical and understanding like how does this work. And if you actually understand this for a single module, it's replicating it for 8 more of those and putting them together and make sure they can work properly for the sites you are providing them to.
Is it protected if you've created intellectual property?
No, we haven't yet, but we'll be looking also into patterns, especially that the case of algorithms for actually sorting like the optimal configuration for battery cells. Like for instance, you have like a pack of 5,000 cells. Like we build an algorithm to identify like what's the optimal configuration, like what's the best way I could take the battery cells in this and put them together to size them for application requirements. And like doing that like very efficiently with an algorithm is something we are looking into or filing for a patent later on to be able to protect ourselves.
I had the same question because you have to find a way to patent this.
Yeah, thank you so much. It'll also be an advantage to our competitor when we do that, so we are looking into that seriously.
Exactly, exactly. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Second Life Storage. Coming up, we have Karisimbi Technology Solutions, and they're the last to pitch. Then we can go ahead and continue with the program. Welcome.
My name is Angelo Igitego. I am the founder of Karisimbi Technology Solutions, a company based in Rwanda, and we provide Evoliro Tech, a solution that helps hospitals to operate paperlessly. We hope to change and revolutionize the healthcare space in Rwanda. We want that sector to be digital. Another advantage, added value we are bringing on the market is to interconnect hospitals so that a patient's data is accessed by different doctors and different hospitals. We are ready to present our idea to the judges. We are excited.
Midway. Is it evening yet? No. Good afternoon. My name is Angelo Igitego. I'm 31. And today I'll be talking about money, of course, but most importantly, I'll be talking about people, babies, sick people, patients. I can tell we have many parents in the room. I'm not sure if any of you has ever experienced the agonizing journey of losing a child. A few years ago, I was blessed to have a baby. It was a girl. Unfortunately, she was born with respiratory complications, so she had to be hospitalized. 3 days later, she passed away. She died. And whenever I think about that night of her death, one image keeps coming into my mind. There were 2 nurses, and one of the nurses was constantly flipping through a stack of papers. And she didn't have enough time to come and take care of the other babies or even my own baby. And I felt unhappy. And I went more than one time asking her to come and help me because my baby was having seizures and her nasal tubes were coming out. Every time I asked for help, she pointed at the stack of papers saying, hey, if I don't sort this out and fill them correctly, all of those babies, 45 of them, will not receive appropriate care. Our profession relies heavily on information. Please understand. I love your baby just like any other baby. That's why I'm a nurse. But I have to do this correctly. I felt so powerless and helpless as I watched my baby suffer, and tears were rolling down my face as I had to go and replace and put back her nasal tubes. It was an agonizing moment. And I kept asking myself, why don't we have a software that helps doctors and nurses, to process all this information electronically so that the little amount of time they have with so many patients can be dedicated to be with the patients instead of spending it on papers. Ivulirotech is just that. It's a digital system that helps hospitals to operate paperlessly, processing information very fast. It is user-friendly. Doctors love it. It is affordable, and it works with or without internet. It also produces automated reports. Our value proposition is that we save medical practices $2 per every visit. That translates to $32 million saved in reduced costs. There are about 2,000 health facilities in our beautiful country of Rwanda, and they process, on average, 16 million patient visits every year. Our main target market for the moment is the 158 private clinics. And the product we are giving to them really is taking something like you are seeing on the screen, this stack of papers, and replacing it with something like this. This technology that I piloted and created helps doctors retrieve a patient file within just a few seconds. The maximum is 5. That's the promise we give to the hospitals we work with. And when a doctor has retrieved a patient file, while they are treating and entering this information, they can see on the left panel, or on the left side, the whole medical history of this patient. Our business model is broken into two. We charge a setup fee, which can also be paid in installments, and we also ask from our clients a minimum amount of money every month that can help us be sustainable as a business. We have competitors in the market, but really, their solutions, they just don't work. I agree that they have presence, they have been here before me. But the problem is that their solutions are just not effective. They still rely on paper alongside their digital solutions. They are not effective. They take very long to deploy, weeks, even months. And they just do not fit the local healthcare system. Our solution is much better. It takes a very little amount of deployment, just one day, and is very high performant. Like I mentioned, it's a few seconds. That's the promise we give. It is also affordable. We work closely with our partners to make sure that money does not become a burden for them. It is also very user-friendly. Doctors really, really love it because we developed it, and I developed it alongside a medical professional who has been in the business for 20 years. It is also offline. It doesn't necessarily need internet. And when internet comes back, the whole data can be synchronized to the cloud. And another advantage, it produces automated reports, which usually used to take days, weeks, many people working on them, but now it's a click of a button. We have been working so far with 22 health facilities, and we have managed to generate a revenue of 26 million Rwandan francs. More than 100 doctors and nurses have been already trained to use our system, and they are currently using it. And more than 70,000 patients have already been treated through it. That's the size, that's an equivalent of 6 sectors in Rwanda, if I'm not mistaken. And we have a growing database of laboratory tests and diagnosis, and we are still going. We plan to work to reach 150 facilities in the next 2 years, and we plan to create jobs because we'll be generating a revenue of more than 300 million Rwandan francs in the next 2 years. Our distribution channel has been mainly door-to-door. We go, on every hospital, we tell them, hey, this is what we have, why don't you try it? And they try it, and they love it. But in the future, we want to put it online because we are planning to grow and go in other African markets. We want to put it online so that it's easily accessible. For the moment, we have been working on this product for the past few years. We launched in July 2020. That's when we solved the problem of access to internet, because the product before was based on internet only. And for the moment, we are working with 20 paying hospitals. And our vision, our future, is a healthcare practice that does not use any paper at all. We also plan to build an app for the patients and put the data, their medical history, into their hands. And every time you go to a hospital, the doctors will already know that you are coming, what you have been suffering from in the past, and you'll be able to see your prescriptions on your phone and pay them electronically. We plan definitely to expand our service, reach more health facilities, and we also plan to go in other countries, West Africa, North Africa, Eastern Africa, and Southern Africa. I didn't do this alone. I worked closely with a healthcare professional. His name is Jean-Paul Balinda. I think he's in the house. And yeah, it has been an amazing journey. And what we ask today from you, the judges, the guests, the general public, is to support us with ideas, feedback, and trust in us. For the judges, I ask that you help me raise $350,000 to reach more hospitals, to create more jobs, and to make this vision a reality. Thank you very much.
Angelo, thank you very much for your appealing pitch. Allow me to first express our empathy. It must have been a devastating experience that you have went
Thank you.
through. Before I hand over to the other judges, I would like to understand a little bit better in terms of competition and available systems. You mentioned different technical solutions that you have tackled that maybe the competition has underestimated. Can you also explain what is specific in the Rwandan context that you touched on it, but it wasn't very clear? What is different? What are you offering that other systems are not offering and that is relevant for Rwanda?
Thank you very much. It sometimes gets very hard to explain problems in the healthcare sector in Rwanda because they are very technical, but I will do my best to explain them. So, like I mentioned, we have about 2,000 health facilities, and the government of Rwanda has been investing a lot of money in making sure that Rwandans can get healthcare easily. There is a goal that there is a specific amount of time that the government is trying to make sure that if you are sick, You don't have to run miles and miles. So the current problem is that we have my biggest competitors, there are 2 of them, and they were the first movers on the market. They are working primarily with public hospitals, and these are hospitals that are affordable. And the situation is that they kind of have a monopoly. Basically, the public hospitals cannot take our solution. There was this case, I went to this public hospital, actually when my daughter died, went to talk to the Director General, presented my solution, and he said, you have to go through the ministry. So this is a call to the government to please try us, allow us to work with public hospitals because there is a monopoly. Our solution helps hospitals to run without papers. Please allow us, please. So what we created is we have this passion because, I lost a daughter and I've seen so many people, suffering, going through the pain because an invoice, for example, takes 6 hours to update. And these 6 hours, imagine if you are pregnant and you have to run back and forth up the stairs. So what we do is we make things simple and very fit and easy to use for doctors, and that's how we create value. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo. Dr. Sumit.
Thank you, Angelo. You absolutely have clearly stated the problem, and also thank you for sharing your personal story. And I'm really sorry about the loss of your child. That is very painful, but also very proud of you to take this difficult and painful and agonizing moment and turning it into a success story, which is very consistent with the story of Rwanda.
Thank you very much.
I really want to build on again on the existing platforms. As you know, health information systems have been around now for several decades, and there are many that are open source and free. And I also know there are other local solutions in Rwanda, so I think it would really be good, in addition to just, our system works, if you can give us a little bit more about why your system is better. But in addition to that, I would love to hear your comment regarding interconnectivity of various facilities, as well as data integrity, privacy, and data patient confidentiality. As you know, data is as valuable as oil these days.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So like I mentioned, we have 2 key players in the market, and they are imported solutions. So even though they are open source, working with them, they are built on difficult technology stacks. For example, for us to deploy, let's say, an SMS reminder solution, it takes just 24 hours. Whereas using these other technologies, it takes more manpower and more time. Also, the deployment, it's weeks and weeks. Whereas our solution, we install it within just 1 day. Speaking on data privacy, there is a law that was recently released by the Ministry of ICT, and it gives guidelines on what to respect and how to go about data management. And we are working, it's been almost a month, if I'm not mistaken, when it came out. We are working very hard to make sure that we comply with the laws. For the moment, from a technical standpoint, we use security measures. For example, accessing our, first, servers are stored in a safe physical place. Not everyone can access them. Number 2, even if you accessed it, for example, the server where the data is hosted, because the data is hosted on premise of the hospital, it requires at least 3 passwords to get into the system. Every doctor and every nurse in the hospital has a username and a password that they use to access the data and modify the data. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, tech enthusiasts, welcome to Hanga Pitchfest 2021. It's a tech startup festival that provides a unique platform to showcase tech entrepreneurs and creative talents from all over the country, as well as giving them platforms that will enable them to showcase their talents and connect them with the markets in Rwanda. My name is Arthur Musi, and I'm working with my co-host today.
And I'm Nancy Ndekwe. Your Excellency, I would like to invite the Minister of ICT and Innovation, Honorable Paula Ingabire, to give her remarks.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, cabinet members, senior government officials, to our phenomenal panel of judges that has been fantastic this whole afternoon, and most especially to the startups that are the reason we are here today. Good evening. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for making the time to join us today during this Hanga Pitchfest competition, which has been going on for more than 6 weeks. When we sent out a call of applications, received more than 400 applications, and shortlisted to where today we have the top 5 that have emerged as the best startups. But in as much as we have them as the best 5 startups, I think for all the 25, the 45, the 340 that had the courage to apply and really compete during this competition, we consider all of you as winners, and you're the brain power that our country needs to take us to the next level. Your Excellency, we had the opportunity to listen to some of the top 5 startups that presented here this afternoon, and shortly we will be hearing from the judges. The job wasn't easy for them, but to really get to know who were some of the winners and how they rank from first to 5th. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the judges that have really been part of this. Beyond the 5 judges that were here with us this afternoon, we've had judges from across the industry that have been part and parcel of making sure we do the selection, we give these entrepreneurs and innovators the best advice to fine-tune their ideas, and we can't thank you enough on behalf of all the judges that have been part of this. Mr. President, as we gather here this evening, I think it's a call to action for all of us. What we've seen is brilliant and amazing ideas, but there's also a need to continue to support them. They can't walk this entrepreneurial journey alone, and they're going to need all of us, whether it's the advice we give them, whether it's the data we open up to them so that they have relevant solutions, whether it's the money that they need to take them to the next level. I think everyone in this room has a role to play in taking them to the next level. Sir, as I end my remarks, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you, because if it wasn't for you, for really believing in the young people that are here today, giving them a reason to make a difference in this country's, in contributing to the country's growth, we wouldn't be here today, and it's because of you that we're here today. And I ask everyone in the room to join me in thanking the President for this commitment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I would love to introduce a video that also gives us an overview and takes us through the journey of Hanga Pitchfest.
Hanga Pitchfest is a competition that is targeting startups, where we're looking to identify the different startups that we have across Rwanda, looking at the different ideas that they're building, but also offering them a platform where they can showcase the different innovations that they're working on, offering them an opportunity to have peer mentorship and mentorship with other different organizations. And at the same time, we're also looking to provide them with training and business development services.
What we do at AfriFarmers Market, we use technology to empower rural farmers overcome poverty through helping them access stable market using e-commerce, and also giving them sustainable skills on how to practice modern agriculture.
My name is Yusuf Mwadi, and I'm the CEO of Bag Innovation. We're an education technology company that is aiming at providing experience-based learning to university students to complement theoretical learning with market-relevant experience.
At Karisimbi Technology Solutions, we provide an electronic medical records software that helps hospitals to operate paperlessly. That means we provide to them digital patient files for their patients.
We are giving new utility to the Rwandan cultural tools by transforming them into smart home devices by using technology and the shapes of Rwandan cultural tools, securing them a spot in the future of Internet of Things devices.
Our company is Second Life Storage. We build energy storage solutions from battery waste, and we provide them as a service to many segments, including telecom towers, industries, and commercial buildings.
I believe that competitions like this will create an ecosystem that will be very advantageous to the country, because more and more ideas will come out from new sources that we were not exposed to before. In other countries like Israel, for example, this type of competitions is something that helped ignite the startup ecosystem, which eventually turned into Israel is known as the startup nation, and I would love for Rwanda to be the startup nation of Africa as well.
I would now like to welcome on stage the head of UNDP Rwanda, one of our lead partners in the ICT sector, Mr. Maxwell Gomera.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, cabinet members here present, our wonderful judges, and our brilliant and innovative young people, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, mwiriwe. Your Excellency, nitwa Maxwell Gomera, magarariye UNDP mu Rwanda. About a year ago, Your Excellency, I arrived in this beautiful country. And as a sign of the times, the extraordinary times that we live in, my first encounter at the airport was with a robot called Urumuri. Your Excellency, I learned that the robot was being used to treat people in hospitals, to deliver medicines, and to protect frontline staff. The robot is a sign of the innovation and the power of innovation that's abundant in this country. Congratulations, Your Excellency. But as we saw this afternoon, the story of the robot doesn't end there. This afternoon, we saw young people displaying their ideas of how they see the future. It has not always been easy for them, Your Excellency. Many of them do not succeed, and some don't come up with profitable businesses. But they do not give up. And it was wonderful to see the young people that you have here who have refused to give up and are going on with their ideas. Your Excellency, what we are seeing in Rwanda is not happening by accident. It has happened because of three key attributes that we are seeing in your country. The first one is your leadership. Your leadership, Excellency, has created an environment where people can apply themselves. Congratulations for that. The second one is the presence of young and vibrant young people with a curious mind and who are prepared to take risk. In my country and in my culture, we say the chakata fruit on the ground belongs to everyone, but the one on the tree belongs to she who is prepared to climb. Climbing the chakata tree is hard work, and the young people that we saw today have been able to climb that tree. It is our responsibility and our duty to help them to keep at the top of their game. The third one, Your Excellency, is the availability of an ecosystem of services that help anyone and everyone who wants to invest in this beautiful country. From the services that we see from the Rwanda Development Board, the KIFC, Your Excellency, the many accelerator labs that we see in this country, you have created an ecosystem of services that makes it easy for any investor who would like to do so. Congratulations once again. As UNDP and with many of the partners who have sponsored this event, we are proud to be associated with young people who are prepared to excel themselves and to be associated with your government. We would like to continue working with you to take this forward, Your Excellency. I also learned, Your Excellency, that we share a passion for Arsenal Football Club, and I hope that one day we'll be able to watch a match together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomera. We would now like to welcome to the stage the chairman of the Rwandan Development Board, Mr. Itzhak Fisher, to give his remarks.
So unfortunately, I will not be able to say some words in local Rwandan language, but I will work on it, I promise. So whoever doesn't know me, I'm Itzhak Fisher. I'm the chairman of RDB. And my journey to Rwanda started 5 years ago when I met His Excellency in New York when he came to visit the UN mission. And that is the meeting that changed everything for me, because I expected a 15-minute meeting, taking pictures, I'm going to leave, and it is as if the meeting never happened. And what His Excellency did is, actually he sat me down for an hour, and we discussed my life and what I've done in my life. And then the question was very simple: how can you help Rwanda? And then he invited me to come for a trip in Rwanda to see how I can help. And I committed that every 3 months I'm going to come and see how I can help. And from that, it rolled into, a year later, into me becoming the chairman of RDB, working together with Claire, the best partner that I could ever have. And during the last 5 years, I was focusing on bringing foreign investors, visiting businesses in Rwanda, and I always kept thinking, like His Excellency said many times in a lot of his speeches, that the future is in the young people of Rwanda. And how do we unleash the power of the young people of Rwanda to change the economy? And I believe that I thought it would be a small, humble start of a startup competition. It turned into an amazing event, so it's not such a humble start. But since this event is going to be now a yearly event, where I personally contributed money for the event to succeed, I think that this event will be the event that will ignite what I called in the words that I said here before, Startup Nation of Africa. Now, people don't know, but my profession is investing in early stage companies. So my wife, that is hiding somewhere in the crowd because I'm not allowed to point her out, and I invested in over 100 companies in the last 1 year. And I must say that the ideas that we heard from the 5 young people blew me away because they focus on the critical areas of health and food and nutrition, and those are the areas that we would like young people to come with great ideas so the whole economy can benefit from that. So again, I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited for this competition and even more excited for next year's competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for is here. Yes. We've waited so long to know who is going to be the Hanga Pitchfest champion and who is walking away with $50,000 US. The judges, they've deliberated and they have the final results. Am I right? Yes. As we rehearsed, we are going to be awarding starting from the 5th place. Nancy, I know you were excited about this.
Oh, I can't wait.
Take it on.
Are you guys ready? To award the 5th and 4th place, I would like to invite Honorable Minister Paula Ingabire, joined by UNDP representative Mr. Maxwell Gomera, to please come on stage.
And I'm going to be announcing the winner. I've just received all their names. In 5th place, the winner is...
It's loading.
The winner is Karisimbi Technology Solutions. Please come and take a picture. This is a good moment. He goes home with $12,500 US to invest in his business. Thank you very much. And in 4th place, the winner is
Bag.
He also goes home with $12,500 as an investment in his business and a good smart solution that he pitched today. Congratulations.
To award the 3rd and 2nd place, I would like to ask RDB CEO Claire Akamanzi, joined by the Country Director of Ellen and Jill Gray Philanthropy through the Program of Jasiri, Aline Kabanda, to please take the stage.
And my job is to break the news, which I'm loving. In 3rd place, the winner is AfriFarmers. AfriFarmers presented a beautiful idea, and to that reason he goes home with $15,000 US, an investment in his brilliant tech solution. Two are remaining, and one of them is going to be crowned the overall champion of Hanga Pitchfest. In 2nd place, the winner is Second Life Storage. Well, I'm pretty much you understand what that means. By knowing the second, you know the first. But the second also goes home with an amount equivalent to 20,000 US dollars cash.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We can hear your excitement. We would like...
Thank you very much.
And now, to award the first place winner, we would like to invite His Excellency Paul Kagame, joined by the Chairman of RDB, Mr. Itzhak Fisher, to give the first award.
I don't think I have to announce the winner because you know. And the winner is Afriduno! She walks away with 50,000 US dollars cash to invest in her business. She brought a brilliant idea of packaging our culture with modern technology and music. She is the winner. She is the crown champion of Hanga Pitchfest 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Let's give a round of applause to Afriduno.
Congratulations to all. We will now invite all our winners and esteemed awardees to take a group photo to mark this exciting occasion, after which we shall have the keynote remarks from His Excellency.
A good evening to all of you. I would have spoken without a piece of paper in my hand, but since I'm meeting very important people, the young people, the winners of today, and the other people, but very important, who are here, especially those who made this event possible. My job is mainly to acknowledge all of you, and I want to mention people's names, so I don't want to forget any name. So that's why I have a piece of paper in my hands. But definitely, I'm just thrilled, very pleased to be here joining you for this very happy moment. And having had all you had today, I join you in recognizing the 5 startups that have received the awards in this first ever event of Hanga Pitchfest. So I thank the diplomats who are here, guests from across the world. I thank you for joining us and also for being part of this very beautiful day. This is a very interesting and excellent initiative, and I commend all institutions involved, as well as the youth who have spent the day here learning about entrepreneurship and innovation. And as said earlier, this is just the beginning, so I think more is going to be done and more is going to be achieved as we go forward. So let me acknowledge the generous sponsors who have made this event possible. They include Ishak Fisher, chairperson of the Rwanda Development Board, UNDP, represented here by Mr. Maxwell Gomera, the Jasiri program of the Ellen and Jill Gray Philanthropy, Katie Rwanda Networks. I'm sure there are others, probably I didn't put on my list, but I'm aware they want to be added on the list by the next event we hold here. So I welcome them and I congratulate them in advance as well. Numerous other associate partners have made notable contributions. I go back to the finalists. I congratulate you all. I hope you are as proud as we are for you. Technology and innovation are driving Rwanda's transformation. Not enough yet. So that's why I want more of it. I want to do more. Because if you want to drive the economy based on knowledge, which is very important, and by the way, which is available in any part of the world you go to. It just depends on how you are ready to tap into that. The difference will be made by how you focus on it, you invest in it, and see it with that importance it holds. The Hanga Pitchfest has equipped all those who participated with the new tools to help you grow your companies. I want to encourage you to take full advantage of the programs and the services in our country to help start-up entrepreneurs succeed. I want to single out an example of Norsken, East Africa, which just launched a health tech hub, and we offer 20 Rwandan startups a platform to solve some of Africa's health challenges. Congratulations, and we appreciate that contribution. More public-private partnerships will be needed to accelerate the growth of this ecosystem, in particular in higher education and research. The most successful startups are rooted in science, research, and technology. In all advanced economies, eventually, which we want ours to be, the linkages between universities and entrepreneurship are deep and productive. In Africa, it's not going to be any different. To all the sponsors and partners here with us today, once again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your commitment and all resources and your time you put into this. We still have a long way to go, but let's continue working together to see tangible results. I would wish for the finalists great success going forward. You have all our full support, including those who did not succeed. We want them to succeed next time. So I wish you a very happy evening, and please be and stay safe, and let's work hard going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Turashaka gushimira intsinzi zose zabaye, kandi mwese muri hano n'umwanya mwafashe kuza muri Hanga Pitchfest 2021.
Well, as Nancy said it, we've learned a lot, starting from the different booths that we visited, listening to different entrepreneurs, opportunities that we got. Most of you took notes, which I liked, but we've come to an end of this event. We are looking forward to the next edition, and I am sure everyone who's here is ready to pitch next year. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency. We have now come to an end of today's program. Thank you.